Chatfuel School is now in session. Welcome to our weekly class where the Chatfuel team and the top experts in the industry will cover the most important topics you need to know as a chatbot builder and marketer. I'm Andrew, Chatfuel's head of video production.
And I'm Jelena, Chatfuel's key account manager.
Have you ever seen pictures of the first cell phone? It was this big, clunky device that looked like a brick. It took 10 hours to get a full charge, and even then it only powered 35 minutes of calls. It was a breakthrough, but it still wasn't very user-friendly or accessible to the average person. Since then, there have been major leaps in the evolution of this technology. The first smartphone, then the first iPhone, and now modern phones that are sleek, lightning fast, and accessible to a much wider audience. Each new version of the cell phone has been easier to use and more powerful than the one before it. Today, we're unveiling a major evolution in another type of technology, chatbot software for your business. That's right, today we're officially releasing the beta of Chatfuel's Flow Builder. What is Flow Builder? Well, it's a faster, simpler, and even more powerful interface for building messenger bots. Think of our old interface like the first cell phone, and Flow Builder like a cutting-edge, intuitive smartphone of the future. It gives you a visual overview of the user experience, making it easier to design great conversations. Plus, as always, there's no code required, meaning anyone can build a bot with this technology. So Jelena, tell us more about what we'll cover in today's episode.
I'd be happy to, Andrew. Flow Builder is a super special topic, so the organization of today's episode will be a little different than what you're already used to. First, to kick things off, we'll talk to a few Chatfuel customers about their impressions of our brand new Flow Builder interface. We'll hear what they're most excited about and how Flow Builder will help them create even better chatbots for their businesses and clients. Then we'll take you behind the scenes of Flow Builder, of course. We'll talk to some members of the Chatfuel team who actually designed it so they can let us in on some secrets. And finally, Andrew will take us through a demo of Flow Builder so you can see how it works and what's new. So first, let's hear from those users who got early VIP access to Flow Builder and see what they had to say about it.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the new feature, the Flow Builder of Chatfuel. And to me, it is a great improvement. And the reason for this is that it just gives you a way better structure about how the customer or how the user of your chatbot is flowing through the conversation. And of course, Chatfuel provided a block builder, which was fine. I think it was a great block builder, but the flow, how you go through this conversation is just way better with a flow builder. And also, if you're making chatbots for clients, it is way better to send them, for example, a screenshot of the complete flow. It's easier to understand for them as well. So in general, I think the new chatbot builder is great. It's a great improvement, and I like the new changes going on at Chatfuel.
It normally takes me however long it takes me to build a particular flow and bot. But Flow Builder will make my life easier, will make my bot building faster, because I will not have to build a mind map in some other software and then take that mind map and build it in Chatfuel. I will be able to cut my time in half because Flow Builder and Chatfuel takes care of two bot building techniques that I use every day and combines them into one.
You're actually going to get addicted to it because it makes life so easy. So I want to thank to all the Chatfuel people working around the clock to make this happen. Fixing all the bugs, ironing out every detail. You're doing a great job. Thank you for helping my business grow, and I'll see you in the next upgrade.
So, not to toot our own horn, but we're excited about this new change. Our community of bot builders is excited about this new change, and we hope you are too. And you know who else is excited about Flow Builder? The man behind the curtain, Chatfuel's CEO, Artem Toshnik, affectionately known as Tioma. It might surprise you that Tioma actually developed much of Flow Builder himself in between sessions of playing Grand Theft Auto, or as he now calls it, Grand Theft Botto. Here are 3 other fun facts about Tioma. Number 1, he's completed an Ironman triathlon, which includes swimming, biking, and a full marathon, and he did it in 9 hours. That's about 4 hours less than the average time. Kind of reminds me of how much time Flow Builder is going to save you in the bot building process. Number 2, Tioma can eat 25 crepes in 3 minutes, so he's efficient just like you'll be when you're designing your bots with Flow Builder. And finally, number 3, Tioma claims he loves the smell of gasoline. However, he insists that this was not the inspiration for the fuel part of Chatfuel. Instead, let's say that Flow Builder will be the fuel you need to take your conversational marketing for your business to the next level. So we wanted to ask Tioma, what was his inspiration behind building Flow Builder?
Yeah, actually, reimagining the whole product was really hard and took a lot of work, but it allows us to make our customers more efficient, which is the most important thing for us.
So it's all about improving the experience for you, the bot builder, because that will help improve the experience for the end users who are your customers, you know. We had Tioma elaborate a bit about how Flow Builder is an improvement from the Automate tab, which is our original building interface.
So actually, it's really like a challenging task to build a bot because it has all this like logic that consists of a lot of things. And with the current way you build a bot, you have like a lot of pieces of logic, and all of them are separated with those blocks. And what we wanted to do to provide a way to our users to have all these pieces just in one place and to see them like as one picture. And that way it's much easier to understand what's going on and how it all works together.
So the old interface, the Automate tab, was kind of like putting together a puzzle without looking at that big picture on the box of what the finished product is supposed to look like. It's a lot harder to deal with all those separate little pieces without a clear view of how everything fits together. With Flow Builder, you can zoom out and see that bigger picture, which makes the whole building process more intuitive. Now, earlier Tioma used the word reimagine to describe Flow Builder, and it's really the perfect term for it. Flow Builder, yes, is a new interface, but it still has all the Chatfuel plugins and tools you know and love. They're just reimagined so you can take advantage of them more easily.
So yeah, we're launching Flow Builder, and on top of what we discussed with the ability to easily create a flow, we also reworked all the plugins that we have based on our customers' feedback that we received. And now all of those plugins allow you to easily send content and capture users' information.
These new and improved plugins are a really exciting new component of Flow Builder, so Andrew will cover a couple of them later in the demo. Just wait till you see the new Save User Input plugin. It's honestly going to make user retention and engagement so much easier for you. But first, we had one more question for Tioma before he went off to prep for his next Ironman. What does Flow Builder mean for the future of Chatfuel?
So up to this point, our priority was to be super flexible, just to see what our users can build with the help of Chatfuel. But from now on, we want to focus more on the use cases, and based on the feedback that we have from our customers and based on our experience on the market, we want to provide really the easiest possible way to create useful bot and to help you with all your marketing activities. And the Flow Builder is just the first step to this Chatfuel 2.0.
Awesome, so welcome to Chatfuel 2.0. That was Artem Tioma Toshnik, CEO of Chatfuel, and it kind of feels like he needs another nickname now though, after all we've learned about him. Father of Flow Builder might be a good one. Terrifyingly fast crepe eater, but that doesn't quite have the same ring to it. We'll take any better suggestions in the live chat or in the comments. Next up, we have a short clip from Yulia on our team. Fun fact, Yulia once saved the life of a 65-pound jellyfish. Did you know they grew that big? Now, when she's not rescuing wildlife, she's one of the product designers here at Chatfuel, so she's to thank for the clean design and smooth navigation of Flow Builder. Here's her take on the new interface.
I made a little part of our new Flow Builder, and we tried to find new visual solution to let our users make it easier, make it without coding, without any special abilities or knowledges, and without spending plenty of hours on it. And I think we did it.
Yulia is so humble. She thinks she improved the bot building process. I can honestly say with confidence that our product team definitely 100% achieved that goal. So big kudos to Yulia and the rest of the team for their awesome work. Now, before we go to Andrew's demo, we're talking to one more guest from the Chatfuel team, and that is Nick Julia, Chatfuel's head of growth. Basically, Nick's job is to run experiments to help us make decisions that will make Chatfuel a more useful tool for you. We've got 2 quick fun facts about Nick before we get his take on Flow Builder. Number 1, like a weirdly large number of other people in the world, he's hopped on the trend of baking fresh sourdough bread during quarantine, just like you'll be creating fresh, engaging bots with our new Flow Builder. And number 2, Nick has played in some minor pro tennis events in the past. It kind of reminds me of how you'll be a pro at designing chatbots as soon as you dig into the Flow Builder. So our first question for Nick was, if he had to describe Flow Builder in one word, what would it be? And his answer is smooth.
So what's exciting about this new way of thinking versus our old block structure is the way it simplifies your life. So if we take an analogy of a website, so you might have been a coder, so you can code everything by hand, right? Piece by piece, block by block. And that's essentially, we had an upgraded version of that as our old block structure. You'd still have to remember where you put pieces, how it was connected, and it wasn't for the non-technical builder, right? Agencies were cool with it. They got comfortable. They liked it. Not to say this, they won't like the new interface. They will. But for somebody coming in without that coding type experience, it'd be like upgrading from coding your website by hand to all of a sudden installing WordPress and using a visual builder, right? So now you're just dragging elements. Oop, header goes here. My hero image goes next. I'm not touching the code, but it's all just kind of magically happening with a much better experience.
Magic is really the perfect word. That's exactly what Flow Builder feels like, because the visual drag and drop interface makes it super easy to use. Next, we talked to Nick about marketing agencies and how Flow Builder will simplify their lives.
First of all, it's just faster. Like actually building the thing is faster. No more remembering this block goes to this block goes to that. I see it visually, and it takes less technical knowledge and remembering what you've done in the past. So for sure that. The other piece is actually on demos. It looks more impressive and clients can understand it much more easily, right? So instead of saying, hey, this block, then like if somebody clicks on this button, wait, let me scroll down. No, none of that. It's just a simple tree. It's easily understandable at a glance. And ultimately, just makes that whole process of landing the client, then fulfilling, making sure that the client's okay with the work and understands what's going on. So the building piece is faster. That next piece of getting feedback is easier. No more long Google Sheets with all this stuff in it. So ultimately, I think it just goes back to my first word. It's just smooth.
So basically, Flow Builder is going to save agencies tons of time. It'll help them close more deals and delight more customers, which is exactly the type of win-win we like to see. Our clients are happy, their clients are happy, and both parties can, boost their revenue. Now, speaking of raking in the dough, we have another major segment of customers at Chatfuel who will benefit from Flow Builder, and that is e-commerce sellers. So we also asked Nick, how will Flow Builder help them sell more products and boost their business?
So, big picture, Flow Builder is one of the steps that we're taking to save people time and really achieve the goals that they want to achieve. Right? At the core, we're an automation software that enables communication between businesses and customers to achieve some sort of business outcome. And I think Flow Builder makes that much more accessible to those businesses. So it's going to save you time building the experience. You're going to know visually what's happening in a much nicer way, right? So it makes your experience with our product better. And I think by doing that, along with some of the other initiatives we have going on, we're getting closer to helping people actually make a sale, right? And track that and do stuff that matters to them. We're on the journey to enable that. So save time and achieve business goals better. And Flow Builder is a big step for us in that direction.
So it's just like Tioma said earlier, Flow Builder is only the first step of Chatfuel 2.0. There's a lot more exciting stuff coming from the top secret labs at Chatfuel, and I'd tell you, but then I'd have to... So for now, just know that Flow Builder is finally here and that there are more innovations where that came from coming soon. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, top off your wine. It's finally time for the official release of Chatfuel's Flow Builder beta. Idar, please do the honors. Unleash the beast, release the Kraken, flip the switch.
And here's Andrew with the Flow Builder demo.
Okay, so one final disclaimer here before we go into the demo, because I know this is going to be a pressing question on everybody's mind, and that is, Andrew, what happens to the old Automate tab? Is all my content there going to be automatically converted into flows? Is the Automate tab going away entirely? What's the situation there? And the answer is simple. Fear not. The Automate tab is not going away. All your content there will remain. And basically, if you want to use Flow Builder and you're an experienced bot professional with all this content in the Automate tab, you can of course still do that. And Flow Builder is going to be most useful for creating new campaigns, like for Facebook ads, comment acquisition, etc. So again, fear not, it's not going anywhere. Everything will still be accessible. And with that being said, let's go into the demo. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the interface of Flow Builder and where to even find it. So once you log into the Chatfuel dashboard, you'll see this second icon down here is called Flows. And of course, that's where Flow Builder lives. So the workspace here is really divided into two sections. On the left-hand side here, you have flows. You have all the different groups of flows and specific flows that you've created. And then on the right-hand side over here is where your canvas is once you create a flow. So I'm going to add a flow to this default group here. If I wanted to, I could create a new group on its own to help keep me organized, but I'm just going to add to this default group here for simplicity. And then I'll even collapse this panel just to give us some more working real estate while we build on the canvas here. Okay, so before we start building here, let's give an example use case. So let's say that we are a popcorn brand and we're getting tons of frequently asked questions and we want to automate some of those in Messenger. So that's what we're building a flow for here, to automate frequently asked questions. That's the goal. And when I think of flows, I really think of the flow being associated with a specific objective. Now, of course, you can build the entire chat experience in a single flow, but again, I think of flows being kind of oriented towards a specific goal. But at any rate, we can start building out this flow here. So to start, I'm going to click Add Content, and I'll choose Text and Buttons. And this is kind of our welcome message, our greeting for a user getting into this flow. So first things first, let's be a little humorous and say, let's get it poppin', since we're a popcorn brand. And we can add an attribute for the user's first name by clicking this attribute button right here, typing in first name. And there we go. If we wanted to add, a popcorn emoji, we could do that using the emoji picker here as well. Cool. So let's get it poppin', Andrew. And then let's say choose your question. So we'll use, let's say, a gallery card to give them a list of questions to choose from. Okay, cool. So then to add the gallery card, we're going to double click anywhere here in the canvas, and we can choose send message. And within that send message group, we can choose the gallery card. Awesome. Now you'll notice right now that the block that I just added, the gallery card, it's kind of off the canvas. It's kind of a little frustrating. You know, we have to click and drag around. Fear not, we have an amazing solution for this. You just click the organize button right here, the second one down, and bam, it brings everything back centered, full view, easy experience. Cool. So now let's create this question. Let's say one of the common questions is people asking if the popcorn is organic. So we'll say, is your popcorn organic? Great. We'll add a button here that says something like get answer. So once people click that, they can obviously get the answer. And then let's also upload an image here. So I'll upload an image of some popcorn that I found on the internet. And perfect. Also, kind of fun party trick to mention, just like with that organize button, you can very easily toggle between the cropping the orientation of your image here, which is game changing if you knew the pain of trying to do this back in the Automate tab. So if you click this second button down here to change the cropping, you see that it can change between square and horizontal. So obviously if you have square images, this is a huge, huge time saver. Cool, so now we have these two basic components set up. And lastly, let's set up the answer. So if they want to know if the popcorn is organic or not, let's create another block by double clicking, or we could actually click on this connector here, drag it over and link that to another text and button card. And then here we can just say something fun, you know, Yeppers, no chemicals in our kernels. Great. So then finally, you see that we've connected these two blocks together, and then we just need to connect to this first one as well. So to do that, we will click on this connector here, drag it over, and we're good to go. And I'll click organize so we can see this flow in a very beautiful way again. So the user goes in, we greet them, tell them to choose a question. If they choose this question, they advance to the answer, and we're good to go. It's really that simple. So that's how to create a basic flow in Flow Builder. Okay, so we just built this very simple FAQ flow in Flow Builder that automates, you know, answers to different questions that our users have. So next you might be asking, well, okay, I have this flow, but how do I actually set it live? How do I drive people into it? So it's important to keep in mind Flow Builder is still in beta, right? This is not the finalized version, and so we're still working on things. And one of those things is called entry points, where basically it'll take this whole flow visualization full circle and allow you to basically double click in front of your flow here to add what we call an entry point. So whether that's Facebook ads, comment acquisition, the customer chat plugin, whatever, you'll be able to see all of the places where you're driving traffic into the flow. Now, for the time being, it's set up a little bit differently. It's kind of a workaround, and you can connect a flow to anywhere in the Automate tab or the Grow tab, wherever, where you could normally connect a block. Now, that might sound a little confusing. Don't worry, I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. It's going to be super straightforward and simple. So before we do that though, I'm going to open up this drawer again and rename my flow. So I'm going to rename it from new flow to FAQ. Of course, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it for sake of organization. And cool, so we have this flow renamed. And then now let's say we want to drive people who comment on our Facebook page post into this flow. So what we can do is, for example, go into the Grow tab, scroll down to comment acquisition. I'll click add rule. Obviously, I'm not going to go into depth here, but we could, you know, name this rule whatever we like. And then at the bottom here, we check the box, if the user responds, send them to a block. And again, normally you would send people to a block in the Automate tab, but now you can also use this as a mechanism to drive people into your flows. So here you'll see flows are listed, and I can choose FAQ from the list there. I click done, and now we can drive people from these other growth tools like comment acquisition, Facebook ads, etc., into that flow. We just covered one use case of Flow Builder, which is automating frequently asked questions, but obviously there's a lot more you can do. So one of those use cases that I want to cover is e-commerce, and one of the features within e-commerce that I want to show you is the one-time notification. This is a new and improved feature compared to the Automate tab. You're going to love it. It's going to make re-engaging users, re-engaging customers a whole lot more efficient. So let's dive in and show you what this is and how it can be useful. So continuing on with the popcorn brand example, let's say that this popcorn brand, has a really hot selling product, which is cheddar popcorn. And when a user is going through a flow to purchase it, the user is told, hey, we're out of stock, we're sold out. So then we can give them, as the bot, an opportunity to sign up for a notification in the future where we can follow up with them, tell them, hey, this product is back in stock, purchase it now. So put simply, the one-time notification, it's a great way to retarget customers and get them to pull out their credit cards. So that being said, let me show you how you can use this. So I've already created here a new group in Flow Builder, and obviously, realistically, you wouldn't create this in a new group. I'm just doing it for demonstrational purposes. You'd have this as part of a larger flow where you have a product and then you tell them this information if it's out of stock. But at any rate, I've created this new flow called one-time notification here. And to add a one-time notification, I just click this add content button and choose one-time notification. So I click on that, great. And then here, if you use this before in the Automate tab, you know how much simpler this is. There's no coding required. It's just intuitive. It's great. It's simple. So I'm going to zoom in here. And for the topic, let's call this cheddar back in stock. Again, this is a opt-in that we're getting from the user to send them a reminder when this product is back in stock in the future. So just some sort of description to inform us of that. And then for the message here, we can say something like, cheddar is better, but it's so good that we're currently out of stock. Click notify me below for a reminder when we have more. Something along those lines. And then we can connect this. So once they opt in, we'll send them a message and we'll connect this to a message that says something like, moo, the cows are excited to make some more cheddar popcorn for you. Something cheesy like that, right? So we have this all set up now, the one-time notification, the description, the message, and then once they opt in, we're sending them this follow-up. So again, it might not seem like much, but for e-commerce, this is such a big improvement compared to the old one-time notification that we had. And now you can re-engage, retarget your customers, and convert them more efficiently. Let's continue this conversation about e-commerce and Flow Builder using the popcorn brand that we've been talking about this whole time. So let's say that, for example, you ship out an order to your customer, and in all of those boxes and all of those orders, you have a note that says, hey, visit us on Messenger to get 20% off your next order. So it's kind of a post-purchase Messenger experience, if you will. And then if the user goes to you on Messenger, they get that coupon code for the next order. And then a day later, let's say, they get a follow-up message asking for them to leave a review for your brand, right? So it's a very common use case, getting reviews, sending post-purchase messaging. That's what we're trying to do here. So let me show you how you would do that in Flow Builder and how you can take advantage of the new tools that we have. Okay, so first what I've done here is created a new flow. Again, you can always create a new flow or make this as part of another flow. It really depends. I'm usually just creating these separate flows for the demo here. But at any rate, I'm going to collapse this and start building our flow. So first off, let me recenter this and zoom in a little bit. So great. So we have this set up, and for the content, right, first message, we want to send that coupon code. So I'll click add content, text and buttons to send a message, and we'll say your coupon code for 20% off your next order is Grand Pop 20. That's what you call an elderly popcorn kernel. Anyway, so we give them this coupon code, which is great. And then we want to set that 1-day follow-up message, right? So to do that, previously in the Automate tab, you had to use sequences and it was kind of clunky. And now we have a much more intuitive solution combined with the fact that it's laid out visually and it's just better to understand. At least for me, I'm a visual learner, but I think everybody will relate to this. So next we will double click to create that delayed message, and I'll use text and buttons here. And let's say, please leave us a review below. And if we wanted to, we could put in the website there, link them out to that, etc. But just for simplicity, I'll keep it short and simple. So we have some sort of call to action, right? To leave a review. And then the other component here that we need to add, we don't just want to send them from this message to the next one, we want to add that delay. So to add that delay, we're going to double click here, add delay, pretty intuitive and self-explanatory. And then we'll set this to, let's say, 1 day, and we're good, right? So now let's just connect this. We'll connect this to this and this delay to this next message. We'll click organize, zoom out a little bit, everything's beautiful, and we have that post-purchase sequence created in just 3 simple steps. It's all visually laid out. It's no more, how does this subscribe to sequence plugin connect to the actual sequence? Where does it pick up after that? It's just all right here, all inclusive in one canvas, one view, and it just makes sense. So let's do a quick recap here. So far, we've talked about 2 big messenger use cases, the first of which being automating your frequently asked questions, and the second being selling products in Messenger, and also similarly how to re-engage users who haven't purchased but might be interested in buying. So finally here, let's talk about the third use case, which is generating leads, right? Super, super important no matter what niche or vertical you're in. So to illustrate an example of this, I want to go back to our famous popcorn example, the popcorn brand, and show you how they could use lead generation in Flow Builder and how it's better than the Automate tab. So let's dive in here into the dashboard and take a look. So let's say that for this popcorn brand, we are also doing wholesale, right? We're selling the products to consumers, but we're also selling them in bulk to other people who want to resell them. It's kind of like those math problems from grade school or high school where you have some weirdo like Jerry who wants to, buy 10,000 bags of popcorn. So that's what we're talking about here, ordering in bulk. So at any rate, let's show you how to do that in Flow Builder. So first, I have created a new flow here. This isn't necessary. I'm just, doing it for simplicity. And then we'll add some content. We'll specifically ask the user a question. We'll ask them, how many bags of popcorn do you want to order? So let's type that in here. How many bags of popcorn would you like to order? Great. I'll zoom in here a little bit. And then we'll add the Save User Input plugin. This essentially, by the looks of it, works the same as in the Automate tab, but there's a really cool twist that will help boost conversions for you and reduce drop-off. So for this user input here, I'm going to validate it using a quantity, a number instead, because that's what we want the user to provide. If they just type in like, I don't know, then that's not helpful. We don't want them to proceed. Okay, so for the attribute name here, we'll just call this, bags of popcorn, something like that to, save whatever data they're entering. And then we'll suggest the quick replies for them to choose an option. So I'll add a quick reply here and we'll just go in, quantities of 10, multipliers of 10. So we'll say 100, 1,000 bags, or if you're like that weirdo Jerry, 10,000 bags. Great. And then let's send them to a corresponding response based off of, what answer they gave. So for 100, I'll just basically in each of these, just send them back the number that they chose with an exclamation mark. Obviously, realistically, you'd send them to another question, but just for demo purposes and sake of time, I'm just, sending them this, and it'll be evident why I'm doing that in a second. So for 1,000, I'll do the same thing. We'll send them 1,000 with an exclamation mark. And then finally here for 10,000, we will, you guessed it, do the same. And then I'll click organize here so it looks prettier. Awesome. Great, so we have all that set up, and now the real catch here, the real beauty here is that when a user typically goes through a lead gen flow, they would ideally click on the quick reply to give that answer. But realistically, not everybody follows the directions, no matter how much you tell them, hey, click the button, click the quick reply, all of that. Inevitably, not everybody will do it. So what's really cool with this new plugin, the new and improved user input plugin, is that even if a user doesn't click on the response, if they type it in manually instead, it will still send them and help them proceed with the flow regardless. There's no need for any AI setup or anything like that. It's amazing, it's intuitive, it's just how bot building should work. So let's test this out and show you what it looks like. So ignore all this previous conversation that I had. How many bags of popcorn? Instead of, again, clicking, I'll type, I'll say 10,000. And there we go. It still sends me to the rest of the flow. So beautiful, intuitive, clean, simple, everything that you would expect. And just to prove it to the skeptics out there, if I go into the AI tab over here, you'll see that I do not have any keywords set up. So again, this is the beauty of the new and improved Save User Input plugin. Okay, so for the final segment here in this Flow Builder demo, I wanted to showcase 3 features that, relatively speaking, are somewhat minor, but compared to their Automate tab alternatives, their old equivalents, they are huge improvements by leaps and bounds. So the first one to cover here is the Split Traffic plugin, and this really is a fusion of the old Randomize feature in the Automate tab and the A/B test plugin. So it's really simple to use. Basically how this works is if you want it to function as that randomize feature, you just keep it unchecked with the box right here. So basically every time a user passes through this plugin, they'll get sent one of these different variations that you have connected on the other side here, whether it's an image, a text plugin, video, etc. And then if you want to have it serve as the A/B test plugin, where every time the user goes through, they're getting that same message, that same variant that they were first assigned, then you simply check this box. So again, if you want it to function as the A/B test plugin, you keep this box checked. If you want it to function as the randomize feature, you uncheck this box. And keep in mind, you don't really see it here, but in the future, as Flow Builder goes from beta to the full release, we'll also have many more statistics available here for you, so you can actually track who's converting. All right, next up here we have the condition plugin. This was formerly known in the Automate tab as the Redirect to Block plugin, and in essence it just allows you to send personalized content to a user based on different attributes that they have. So using this popcorn example again, let's say we have a certain product called cowboy corn and it's kind of marketed towards men, let's say, we can easily send that recommendation to them versus different recommendations for women, etc. So what we want to do here is, we have this condition plugin created. We'll click on where it says unconditional redirect, and then we can set up our attribute filtering here. So we can say if gender, for example, a built-in attribute is male, then we can link this to our content. So we could say, your cowboy corn is coming right up. Right, so just a basic example of how you can personalize the conversation using the condition plugin. For the grand finale here of new and improved plugins in Flow Builder, we have, drumroll please, the typing animation. Yes, I know realistically it's not the world's most exciting feature, but it is a time saver, both figuratively and literally. So if you look here, we have, a basic greeting message with 2 messages, and let's say we want to add a typing animation. So I click here to add content, I choose typing, I'll move it between the first and second block, and there we go. Now you'll notice that when I slide this around, there are no more decibel points, right? And this is great because now you don't have to worry about being super precise in how you move the slider. It's just more natural, it's more intuitive, it's more clean. So if I want to make this, 1 second, I can do that. Super clean, super easy, super intuitive, and again, a big time saver. So those are the 3 new and improved plugins for Flow Builder, and that's it. So that's a wrap on this brief walkthrough of Flow Builder. As of today, Flow Builder is in beta for all users, so be sure to give it a test drive today in your dashboard and let us know what you think. And also remember, Flow Builder, of course, is just in public beta. There's definitely more features to come. Some of those that are currently in the works include entry points, more detailed performance statistics, and the ability to export images of your flows to share with clients and colleagues. So we're really excited, and again, we encourage your feedback. You can share your thoughts with us at team@chatfuel.com, that's our email, or in our Chatfuel community Facebook group. All the information and links to those resources will be available in the YouTube description below. So check out Flow Builder, let us know what you think. We're super excited, we hope you are too. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video, and happy botting.
So that's all the basics you need to know to get started with Flow Builder. Andrew, thank you so much for that awesome demo. Now, normally at the end of Chatfuel School, we leave you with 3 key takeaways based on what we've learned. But today we have just 3 words to leave you with. Try Flow Builder. Seriously, do it now. Just log into chatfuel.com and you'll see the new Flows tab in the left-hand menu. And like Andrew mentioned, share your feedback with us at team@chatfuel.com. We'd love to hear what you think, and we also want to make sure that Flow Builder is everything you dreamed it would be. So we want to provide you with the tools so you can build even more powerful bots. Finally, before we sign off, Andrew's going to reveal the topic for next week's episode of Chatfuel School.
That's right, Jelena. So looking ahead to next week, the travel industry has arguably been hit harder by the pandemic than any other sector. Because of the virus, people aren't flying, staying in hotels, taking cruises, etc. like they were before, and it'll likely be a while before that really changes. So next week, we'll be discussing how all different kinds of businesses in the travel industry are adjusting their marketing now to weather the storm, and how they'll be changing their strategies in the future too. You don't want to miss out on this one. Scroll down to the YouTube description to get a reminder on Messenger when we premiere that episode next week. So thanks for joining us for this historic reveal today. Remember those 3 words, try, flow, builder, and join us next week, same time, same place, for another episode of Chatfuel School. Thanks for attending class today at Chatfuel School. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more actionable and educational content. And don't miss out on next week's class. Click the link in the YouTube description to get a reminder when we go live. We'll see you again next Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific. Happy botting.